Alright, so I did say I was gonna get this laptop that's much faster than my other laptops, especially this one. Even though this is a gaming laptop, this the other touchscreen that had the Intel, I actually gave that to my father. That one had an i5, and this one's a i7 10th generation. It's just shy of the latest one that's out, but this has 64 gigs of memory. 64, what is it? Yeah, it would be, yeah, gigs compared to 8. So this is a much quicker machine, and it's a Dell Precision 5750. I'll be getting the 75 or 7600s pretty soon, and it's a big ass laptop. I mean, it's not too bad. This machine alone right here, maybe 4 grand, compared to this one when I bought it new, about $600, I think is what it costs. So, anyways, we're running Soundswitch, the latest version, and I'm gonna show y'all for those that have questions and not really know how to get into doing all this editing or whatever, especially for movers. And you don't necessarily have to have your lights connected. I'll go ahead and press cancel here. I'm gonna show y'all. So this is the latest version that we're working on, and hopefully everybody at Denon and Soundswitch has worked out the damn kinks. So one of my things that I was having was whenever I would go to my folders, I would end up going to my collections, and a lot of the stuff wasn't coming out that it was saved, as far as like having an auto scripted made show. So I did go through, I think, the majority of all of this. Oh no, I haven't done this one yet, not all the way. I ended up having to rebuild, and in the process of doing this, well, I got sidetracked because of some things going on where a lot of my live shows were not getting saved. But for the sake of argument, as you can see here, I mean, I've auto scripted a bunch. I haven't done these for whatever reason. And one of the things, whenever you would go to auto scripting, which again I haven't been keeping up with the forums and social media and stuff like that on Facebook, Instagram. I have been in communication with Soundswitch, but I've been swamped. I've been busy trying to get everything ready. Graduation, weddings, are picking back up. Thanks be to God, here in the States, in Texas, in Dallas, my area. And I'm actually out of the country in my other home in Mexico, doing a little bit of work, which is why professional DJs, we're constantly doing our stuff, upgrading our stuff, making sure that everything is good, and trying to help every other DJ in the process, newbies or like myself, that are learning this digital stuff on the fly. I've been knowing about Soundswitch because of my Denon Prime 4 since late October of 2019, after the much awaited release for the Denon Prime 4, which I think I was the first one, if not one of the first ones, to get it in my area. And with that, I was able to find out about Soundswitch, learn how to use Serato for the very first time, like legitimately on my own, because it unlocked it on my Prime 4 controller, the Serato DJ Pro. I actually ended up buying the suite on Black Friday because I didn't know that this laptop at that time with the Ryzen would never connect with my Prime 4. After months of actually talking with someone at Serato, Denon DJ, we finally figured that out. So I ended up having to get another laptop with the Intel, and that one connected real quick. This one I have no problem connecting with either or, this or Intel, with the virtual DJ if I want to connect, with the virtual DJ. And yeah, you're right. The Prime 4 on its own doesn't need any of this, especially with my Control 1 back home. We don't need to do any of this. So, anyways, if you were to ever auto script and you launch Soundswitch again, and these logos don't come up, and all of a sudden, you have something like this, right here. Because this I auto scripted. I believe I auto scripted. But here's the trick. But it's gonna take you quite some time. Where the hell is it at? Options, I think. Okay, so it's something like that would ever happen. You would go to options. You would end up going to rebuild track map. Again, once you rebuild and go into rebuilding your track map, it's gonna do everything that you ever done before prior within, I'm just saying like a day before, a week before, whatever, that you created a light show, did auto scripting, whatever. Again, like I said, when you go to launch and you go to your library and stuff like that, you didn't see, your your light show come up and it was blank. After you go to options and you go on rebuild track map, everything that you did prior would then have all of this. I haven't done this yet because I'm in the process of getting this one ready for everything, which is why I have Virtual DJ, Serato, Soundswitch, Engine Prime. And let me reiterate, because a bunch of y'all always, come up with saying that y'all don't have any beat grids. And one of the reasons that you don't have a beat grid is because you probably, like many, are complaining about some issues going on with the Engine Prime, which there are some issues. There are important issues, but then all of a sudden there was, especially with the miscommunication about Soundswitch, where I proved to them that yes, there is something strange going on, because whenever I would do light shows and auto script or whatever, it would show up here and not on my Engine Prime, and vice versa. It would show up on Engine Prime and not here. So yeah, there was definitely something going on, which I'm hoping by now it's already been fixed, whatever. But just in case, the best thing to do, you have to bite the bullet. You got to make sure, first of all, that you don't have anything that's going to corrupt any of your music libraries, be it music and or music videos, and that you have everything legit. If not, you'll corrupt the whole damn system, your laptop, your external drives, and another thing's the connections. I ran into an issue where my Prime 4 was not connecting to my laptops, and it was because of some faulty USB cables. And ones was the data cable, which is the printer cable, basically, the weird looking USB-B or whatever you want to call it. And I actually got them for this laptop and these set of cables. So a lot of my drives were going on and off, and it doesn't take much whenever you're in Engine Prime to corrupt your system. And that's why we do what we do, like what I'm doing here, and trying to help out and explain to y'all the process. So let's say hypothetically that you did go into analyzing all of your music libraries through Engine Prime. That 9 times out of 10, a good solid 97%, 98% of the time, a lot of your music files will have a beat grid. It might not be on point because technology can only do so much. You can't really X out the human factor. First of all, how we got here is because of the human factor, regardless if it's AI or not. We're the ones that give it the parameters for it to learn. Obviously, it's never going to exceed the capacity of the human brain. So, y'all can scratch all that BS out the way. So, Soundswitch is not a perfect program by any means, but it is up there with replacing the old analog light controllers, in a manner of speaking. Because everything that you do on an analog DMX controller is basically being done here for you. But it's only as good as what you provide the information, you know. So let's say that you analyze your songs, and there's gonna be a few, you know, that's not gonna have a beat grid. So you would go to insert beat grid after you've already launched the song and stuff like that. Let's say, okay, well, this is probably gonna build a song. I mean, a light show, because I mean, that's just how these are, you know. And sure enough, I mean, yeah, okay. So when you click on your song, you don't have any of these. These are the beat grids, okay? So these are going by time, you know, whatever, you know, tempo, bars, the same principle. You know, it's a metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, or 1, 2, 3, you know, 3 beat count, 4 beat count, 8 beat count, 16, 32, whatever. So if you, for some reason, didn't have the beat grid installed here, you would go into insert beat grid, and you would want to click the very, very front of your song, and bam, as soon as you click on it, the beat grid, you know, will be inserted after you put insert beat grid. And that's how you do the beat grid. So anyways, okay, so this has already been, you know, done for me. I don't need to do all this, you know, all over, because it's gonna take a while. If I go in here and I say to, you know, rebuild the track map. So we're not here for that. Okay, so for those of y'all that have movers and every other thing, you would want to go to MIDI. First of all, let's see if you have all of this already DMX'd, all your lighting fixtures, the way that you want them, you know, the way that you're gonna have them programmed and stuff like that, the way that you are daisy chaining these, and without a doubt everything is good, everything looks good, then we can proceed. So you can see I have my movers here. I have a primary, you know, then I have my other movers that are primaries and secondaries, and, you know, various different groups. The groups are going to be for like whenever you do some extravagant stuff, you know, chasing and stuff like that, which we'll get into later on. So here, you will go to MIDI. When you're in MIDI, I mean, you're gonna see this first, the performance mode. This is basically the same layout, so to speak, as your Control 1. A lot of people ask, hey, how do you remember all this? Well, you know, it's like repetition. You're gonna learn it. Sooner or later, you're gonna learn it, and this is gonna be embedded in your mind, and whenever you see the Control 1, then you'll know what's up. All of these are going to be there. Worst case scenario, you don't remember what the hell it is, you can always launch, you know, you can be in Soundswitch, because it's going to be open no matter what. And you can come up here and do a quick reference, and it's going to bring everything out here. So everything here is what you have on the Control 1, for those that have the Control 1. So you would want to go to static looks. These are like this because I just barely created this a while back. But all of these are static looks, and they're all for different various deals, you know. So say you didn't have one, you're gonna create, you're gonna right click, you're gonna go to edit. This is gonna come up. This is gonna show everything that you have, everything lit up, you know, which we just went through with the DMX universe. So for instance, you know, you have your movers. You're gonna choose them. You're gonna choose the position. You know, let's say you didn't have a position. By default, everything's on a through position. But you know, these are all the positions that are there now. If you want to do a new one, name it whatever, bam, just press on new and you name it, and you got it. You know. So for this, you know, deal, I chose to do the disco ball. The disco ball, you can pick and choose all of these deals, you know, what color, you know, intensity, strobe, and then each time that you have it highlight, or, you know, you can have them highlighted the same. Watch, I'm gonna show you. You can just get both you'll be able to move all of this, you know. Hold on. See, they both move, you know, the same, whatever. You can have all the parameters working the way that you want it. Here, depending on what kind of movers you got, it's going to show you all of this good stuff. Gobo, pan, tilt, auto mode, pan, tilt, running, light strip color. And, you know, I've got mine set the way I got them, just, you know, for the sake of argument. And that's that good stuff. At first, you'll go to edit positions. You'll have this, what's called the Cartesian plane. You know, for everybody that was going through geometry, you know, pre-al, algebra, whatever, trig, y'all would know stuff like this. Calculus, I mean, it's just 4 planes, you know, the quadrants, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know. So the way that I come to figure this out, because we can't actually get it, you know, and tilt it, you know, or whatever, it doesn't have like a 0, a 90, what is it, 0, 9, 18, 27, 36 degrees, you know, that's the whole deal. And then keep on going. If you do it twice, then you'll get up here to, what is it, 720 or something like that, whatever. For a lot of y'all that have lights like myself that do a lot of pan tilting, you know, in 520 degrees, whatever. And being that, you know, this isn't the way it's laid out. For instance, Soundswitch, I wish that we had access to a real-time 3D visualizer. This will make it a lot simpler and quicker. Instead of the first time to do the positions on mines, I ended up having to have all my lights connected. That's how I was able to pinpoint all of these positions the way that I more or less needed them or wanted them. So all of the positions start out at the 0. The way that I am visualizing this is that for let's say, okay, this is the point of 0. I have my my truss set up, right? I'm here in the center. This is the whole DJ area. Let's assume that we have a disco ball here, and the way that the positions of the lights are, the lights are gonna be, you know, facing where the dots are. You can just imagine lights are, you know, going facing, you know, to where this imaginary disco ball is. So by you moving, choosing, like for instance, I chose the first one, and this is the position where it was laid out on my truss, and the way that the light was showing, it was beaming, you know, like say for instance, I'm looking at a disco ball, and that's where the light was at. And that's one of my movers with the light strips to my right, and this is the other one to my left. It was kind of weird the way that everything looks, but trust me, that's just how it was facing. One of my movers, which was primary, was facing the way that it was facing towards the light. The other one doing the same. Another primary, but you know, to my one to my right, one to my left. My secondary, one to the right, one to the left, and that's how they were facing, you know, which is weird, but that's just how I was doing it. And then after you're done and you're satisfied with your positions, and actually when you start out here, you'll be moving it, and you'll be seeing everywhere that your lights are moving, it's going to be moving. You have to make sure that you have your position correct, and then you would hit apply. Here I don't have to do anything because I've already done it. And then after apply, you would hit OK, and you would have your movement. So anytime that you're doing something, you know, and you wanting to, you know, all of a sudden direct attention from your lights doing whatever kind of light show that they're doing, you can always interrupt that light show, and bam, you would click on this, whether on here or on your control one, and your lights will be directed to the disco ball. Stage left, the same, you know, you would go here, you would end up going through all this, making sure everything's positioned correctly, all your movers. to make sure that you have the correct positions, you'll go down here, and there it is. You have all of your positions. You can actually check the positions of everything that you've done. All the positions. Haven't done the crossover yet, or did I? Yeah, I did the crossover. Yeah, I did crossover. Up, down. Did I do down? I don't think I have done down. I haven't done the cake, and for some reason I don't think I've done the down part yet. Yeah, I don't think I've got a chance to do the down. I did the up, but I haven't done down. And again, this is a good example. Thanks be to God that we ran into it. This is down. Well, right now this is the default position. So if you were to turn on your lights, connect them, and you press down, some of them, depending on how you have them, are going to be facing straight down, or they would be inverted upwards, straight up. And the same would go for this one. Depending on where they're at, then you would end up having to invert, which, here you would pick, to invert it or not. So, with that being said, since we're here on stage left, I'll just leave it at stage left. I don't have to do anything, just cancel, and you're good. So, the way that I'm doing everything here, right now I'm on my 4th position, and what I'm doing is actually copying all the information from one laptop to the other. I wish there was a way that I could just embed a USB, get whatever info metadata I have on Soundswitch, and switch it over. But there ain't nothing like that yet, so this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I know without a doubt you don't have to have your lights connected, because I've done this before. This is why I'm saying the only time that you would end up having to connect your lights and have them all there would be because you're doing this the first time. You would end up having to do the positions correctly. So here I'm doing what's called the dance floor center. I believe is what it is. Yeah, center. Okay, so you want to ensure that you have the right information on there. Don't forget anything. And we're going to go ahead and go through this in real time, so nobody gets left behind, and you will know how to do everything else. This is my Chauvet Derby Eds, my Butterfly King laser, and my Epsilon mini quad beams, my LED pars. A lot of these are Chinese fixtures, American DJ Megabar, and U-Kings. And for a lot of y'all that, hey, y'all feel whatever y'all feel about the Chinese products, well, newsflash, a lot of the stuff that's made for our viewing pleasure and doing what we're doing when we're presenting ourselves with a pretty decent light show, is thanks to the Chinese, because a lot of their stuff, a lot of these American companies, I mean, that's where in the hell it's being made at, I believe in everything having to be done here in America, since I'm an American myself, born and raised in Dallas, Texas. But it is what it is. I mean, job equality, whatever you want to call it. It is what it is. All the bitching and complaining is not going to change it. And if it did, we're going to pay higher. I mean, that's the reason that things are outsourced. If you want to pay high, go for it. That's your business. I, for one, think that whatever the hell we're paying, we really need to be charging more than what the hell we charge. But a lot of times, we just screw ourselves up. We do it to ourselves all the damn time. Cutthroating other people, charging too damn cheap, not really putting value on everything that we've done, that we know how to do. And it's just, it really sucks for a lot of us that have been doing this for quite some time. I myself been a DJ since '86 when I was 14, so trust me, I can feel a lot of y'all. But anyways, I mean, all you have to do if you don't find whatever you don't find as far as like the information for your lighting fixtures is concerned, you need to reach out to Soundswitch support, email them. They will always answer your emails, no matter what. No, I don't care what the hell people are saying on social media or this and that. I believe it's just a bunch of crybabies. You know, they want everything handed to them. Not even millionaires or billionaires have everything handed to them like that. I mean, they actually work hard for a lot of their crap, you know. Hey, baby. Okay, baby. So then, my little baby niece, love her to death. Where the hell was that? Okay, yeah. So you just got to make sure that you have all your information that you are actually going to want and need to use. And if you don't find it on the Soundswitch fixture library, then all you have to do is reach out to Soundswitch, and they will put it on there. It doesn't take much, you know. Honestly, it doesn't take much. And with that being said, I mean, once you get everything to the way that you know, without a doubt, they told you, hey, this is the way that this has to be done, then you can proceed doing what it is that I'm doing by going through all of these little deals here, making sure all the parameters are the way that you want them, and begin doing what it is that you're actually going to be doing for all of your light show auto scripting needs. So all of these parameters have to be moved. All of these. And the intensity levels and all that, I mean, you can play around with all of your lights and see where it is that you actually want them at, where you're going to be satisfied with. And there's a reason that, you know, you have all these diverse channels and modes and everything else. For the sake of argument, I just went ahead and did all of them the way that I did them. I know that I can always change them, and when I change them, all I have to do is go to update fixtures, and everything should be good once I update it. And the strobing, I mean, everything is you can manipulate everything, which is the beauty of Soundswitch. Everything on the fly, you can manipulate however you want. So here, I'm gonna go through dance floor position. It's in default. All I'm gonna do is copy all the movements that I have here for dance floor center. My first moving headlight, gobo light with the light strips. It's way up here. So, you know, you're gonna count from the center. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Almost to the top, right? And then what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 across. I'm not gonna be all the way perfect because I'm gonna end up having to figure these out correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just gonna go ahead and position it there. I'll position my other mover the same to see where I'm at, and that's actually 4 on the other side. So since I'm in the center, I'm gonna drag this 1, 2, 3, 4, and go all the way up. Basically right across. I get my other mover, and every time that you click on something, it's gonna be in the center. My mover is down there, my other mover. So we're 3 across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 and 3 across. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. More or less about right there. Looks about right. Looks about right. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So, you know, I can always tweak this out. Make sure that I'm where I need to be. My other mover. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, about 4, 4, and 6. So you drag and drop. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So about right there. And sure enough, that's where it's at compared to the other one. My other mover, not that far away, it's going to be in the center. So I'll put this one straight in the center. About right there. Looks about right. Almost a carbon copy, if you will. And lastly, my last quad beam. It's a little bit far off from the last, the second one that I did. So about right there. And all you're doing is dragging and dropping to these coordinates. Almost. So once I am satisfied, because all of them are there, you hit apply, and you'll see where this is going on here, but you want to be sure that they're all going to be pointing to the dance floor center. Dance floor center. After this is done, you press OK, bam, and you've already created another static lip. And just to be on the safe side, you get up here, and sure enough, go to edit positions, and sure enough, my first mover, my second mover, my first primary quad, secondary quad, secondary quad, primary quad. Oh, hold on, I'm sorry. This is for the center. Yeah, there you go. You have to go here and make sure that you're on the center. So yeah, everything is looking good, just like I had it before. And you know, you would have to hit cancel because you don't have to do any movements. Everything has already been done. And that's how you save your movements. If you don't do this, go ahead and cancel. If you don't do any of this, change the light intensity, the strobe. You know, for instance, here, you know, you wanted to do, a lot of y'all are always asking about, hey, you know, my gobos, they don't change colors, they don't do nothing. Well, it's because you haven't moved anything. That's why it's only either doing a stuttering effect, or you're just there, not, you know, not having any movement. So you have to change all of these. And that's how you create your static loop.